I'm Susannah Constantine, and this is My Wardrobe Malfunction, the podcast where we talk about clothes, but always get sidetracked down another interesting path. This is our 16th episode, recorded over Zoom during lockdown in July 2020, and officially our season finale. But don't worry, the next season follows in about 2 days. You can also find this episode as a video version on our website at mywardmal.com. We're still longing to hear your clothing stories for our pyjama party, so do email us at help@mywardmal.com. And do I really need to say subscribe, review and follow us on the usual socials at mywardmal? Well, I guess I just have. Right, on to today's special guest, the fabulous actress, fishwife and charity founder Sarah Parish. You can find out more about Sarah's incredible charity, the Murray Parish Trust, and the amazing work it does in supporting children's emergency services by going to themurrayparishtrust.com. So let's grab the handles, open my wardrobe doors, and find out what's inside. As I'm sure you'll all recognise, with Sarah Parish, and who has been on so many of our favourite shows, from Mistresses, W1A, Broadchurch, name the rest. What else? You've been in everything, haven't you?
He's
Cutting It.
Bancroft.
Yeah, Bancroft was huge, wasn't it?
Bancroft was really, it was. It was a surprise. It's sort of a surprise, really, because we made it, and it wasn't really supposed to be ITV. It was going to go on ITV Encore or something. I think nobody watches. I think about 60 people watch ITV Encore.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did, and the ITV1 really liked it, and there was a show that was supposed to be shown on ITV1. I think it was about Hatton Garden.
Yeah.
And and then Hatton Garden, there was a ball going on, so they had to pull it. And the only thing ready to go was Bancroft. So they put it on ITV1, and it was a perfect storm for us, really. That was great. I was really pleased with that.
Are you going to do another series?
No, that's it now. She's in prison now. It's all over.
Okay. She's gone. She's gone.
She's gone, yeah.
So how have you been finding lockdown?
It's been a really interesting time. Some of the time I found it really frustrating. I mean, work-wise, it's been very frustrating because obviously for act, there's just nothing going on at all. We did manage to get the band back together and do a tiny little sketch that we put out on YouTube. So that was a little something for us to do. Really, I mean, it's been a really tough time for actors. Having said that, I kind of secretly quite liked lockdown. I quite enjoyed it. I liked not having the pressure of knowing that there was work out there and I was having to try and fight for it, or knowing that no one's working is quite nice. It's quite relaxing, and spending time with my daughter Nell and just being at home I kind of really liked it, because we've had a really busy few years, and being able to just stay at home and hang out with my husband, and I really, really enjoyed. Towards the end, after about 10 weeks, I kind of went, when the sun went in, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I'm done now. Let's do it. It's done. But I did enjoy it. What about you? Did you like it?
Yeah, I've loved it. Well, it's kind of weird because we, like you, we live in the country. We don't live in London, and because I work from home anyway, and I'm not doing TV. I'm writing full time now, pretty much. Yeah, and doing this. So life didn't really change very much, apart from I've got 3 kids and having them all at home, which was the first time ever. Since they were born, since they've all been at home at the same time.
God.
So that was a blessing and a curse. It's been great and a fucking nightmare. It's been both. But otherwise, life, I feel healthy. I've been exercising more, so it's been good. But I'm beginning to feel like I need to just wake up in the morning and look at a different ceiling for a night. Yeah, not wake up under the same fucking roof.
I know. It's that feeling, isn't it, of becoming very comfortable. I'm very comfortable now at home, and I'm not really stretching myself. I'm not really putting myself in anywhere scary.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I that for a long period of time, that becomes very comfortable, and I get a bit nervous about then doing something. Do you know what I mean? I get a bit anxious about doing something.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking, oh God, I've really again. Otherwise, I'm just going to go. Oh, I'm never going to leave the house ever.
Yeah. No, but it's so easy. I so get it. But you're married to James Murray, who's an actor too.
Yeah.
And you met. Which show did you meet? Was it Cutting It that you met? Which show?
Cutting It. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He came to the last series of Cutting It, and
yeah,
I remember walking into the read through and me going, "Hello, he's nice."
Thank you very much. Straight in my basket. I'll take you. Thank you. And do you think you'll ever do anything together again, like David Tennant's done with his wife, or Michael Sheen, or do you think you'll do anything together?
I don't know. We can cast together, and we've never gone up for anything that the same person's gone up for again, which is a shame. However, I was reading in the Times the other day that producers in the down period were looking for partners, acting partners who live together, because of course they're instantly castable because they can do intimate scenes together, and they don't have to quarantine, or they don't have to quarantine after the show or before the show. So Jim and I were kind of waiting for the phone to ring. It didn't ring, Susannah.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
But we're still waiting, still ever positive that it might. But there might be something in the pipeline for us, just purely because of lockdown.
Yeah.
We're a more attractive proposal, I suppose, than two people that don't know each other.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so funny talking to you, because you know how one has preconceived ideas about people, and you've always been cast as the ice queen or the bitch, a bit like Kristen Scott Thomas.
Yeah.
And men never seem to have that problem, do they? Why?
No.
Your cheekbones or something. Why do you think you get cast in those roles?
It's definitely about cheekbones. As I've got older and more gaunt, I've got more evil. The parts become more evil, which I mean, it's typical, isn't it? And I'm not. I've never been a sort of a sweet little, wallflower kind of person, really. So I went from playing very sort of strong but nice people to just out and out bitches.
Yeah. But which do you prefer? Because you're very good at comedy too. Would you like to do more comedy?
Oh, I'd love to do more comedy. I mean, W1A really was probably one of my favourite jobs ever.
Yeah.
I mean, just purely because it was sort of ribbing the BBC, and that's such an easy thing to do. And because, like, as you know,
okay, that job has gone now. That job, you were lined up for a show at the BBC. Gone. But having done lots of meetings with the BBC, as I'm sure you have, those meetings, you recognise those awful meetings that go on for hours and hours, and nobody really ends up saying anything, and it's full of red tape, and people come out with the most ridiculous little things that I don't know. And playing Anna, the character that I played, was a really good thing for me, because I remember having meetings in the BBC and sitting opposite people like her, who their modus operandi is to say nothing, which immediately makes somebody like me feel horribly insecure. So I just end up over talking. Yeah, I can imagine.
Really, because you think they must be hugely intelligent, and because they're not saying anything. In actual fact, they're probably not saying anything because they haven't got anything to say.
Yeah, or they're on their phone and they're doing their Sainsbury's shopping.
Yeah, they're on the phone, exactly, under the table.
Which is what I do always in meetings. Always. But Sarah, we'll get on to close in a minute, but I'd love to talk to you about your first love, really, and your great passion, which is the Murray Parish Trust.
Yeah.
And you started that after the death of your daughter, Ella Jane. Is that right?
I did, yeah. We lost our first daughter back in 2009. She was born with a syndrome, quite a rare syndrome, and with that syndrome always comes a very complicated heart defect, and hers was really, really nasty one. And she spent her first 4 months in hospital. She had a couple of open heart surgeries during that time. And we got her well enough, or the hospital got her well enough for us to bring her home. And we brought her home, I think, in October or September of 2008. and she lasted until January 2009, and she died at home in her cot in the night, which, you know, is awful and tragic and horrific, but it was the best place for her to die. And she'd had Christmas with us, and she'd had New Year, and she'd met everybody that she needed to meet, and so it was sort of like a perfect little 8-month life, if you like. We weren't sure if she was ever really going to last, and if she was going to last, she would have had a very compromised life. Anyway, so after she died, Jim and we really wanted to give something back to the hospital that had made her well enough to bring her home, and looked after her, and they were amazing people down at Southampton. And so we started up our own charity, and really it started with a couple of bake sales and a sponsored walk. I think Jim and I did a sponsored walk in Vietnam, and, you know, just really little things like that. And then it slowly started to snowball, and people started to get on board and want to take part, and we got more and more volunteers involved and more community. And then eventually we sort of named ourselves the Murray Parish Trust, and we had a big art sale in Soho, which started to get us a bit of publicity. And then Southampton came to us and asked us whether we would like to be involved in building a brand new major trauma centre for the whole of the south of England.
Wow.
And it was going to be built in Southampton. It was going to cost 5.5 million. And would we and another charity that works at Southampton like to do it? And of course we went, yeah, you know, we'll have a go. We could probably make you a couple of $100,000.
Yeah.
And from there, things just started to escalate. And Jim and I sort of found ourselves suddenly in Parliament, you know, asking the government for match funding, which we got. So we immediately got 2 million from the government. Then I know, it was amazing. Then we sort of started to do all these much bigger events, big balls, you know, great big events around the south of England, and they started to make a lot of money. And within 3 years, we'd got the money. And this place has been built. It's incredible. It's open. It looks after thousands of children across the south every year. It's all child friendly. It looks amazing. Because before in Southampton, if your child had an accident, it would be taken to an A&E that was shared with adults. So you might have a 2-year-old child in resus with a 60-year-old man having a heart attack. And it was just horrific. It was just, you know, horrific. So now they have their own, they have their own resus, they've got their own x-ray, everything just for kids. So it's brilliant. Amazing. We're really
amazing achievement, Sarah.
Yeah, we're really big. And now we're on to our next thing, which is an IMRI suite, which is an MRI suite within operating theatre. So when a child is having a brain operation, they can be wheeled in and out of the IMRI.
Because that window must be vital, isn't it? And if you've got a child's got to come out of that and then be wheeled.
Oh my God.
Any distance.
It's crazy to think. What happens at the moment is they'll have an MRI scan at one end of the hospital, then they're wheeled down to neurosurgery. By the time their head's opened, your brain's moved. So the scan that they had 5-10 minutes ago doesn't make sense anymore. So the neurosurgeon will sort of do the best they can and then go, I can't go any further because I don't know whether I'm going to compromise this child, you know, because it doesn't relate to what I'm looking at. So with the IMRI, if they get there and they go, oh, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, they can wheel them in right there and keep operating, but see exactly what's going on. So it means a child at the moment who might have to go through 10 operations will only have to have one, which is going to save the country millions of pounds, save the child and the parents all that stress and heartbreak and all that, and the radiation that they go through to have a CT scan. You know, everything about it makes sense. So I can't really believe that every hospital hasn't got one, but they haven't.
Yeah.
So,
but it's so, because I used to work for I helped set up a charitable organisation called the British Brain and Spine Foundation, which was like I did it with this neurosurgeon called Peter Hamlin. I don't know if you've come across him. He's at St Bart's, and it's like it developed as an umbrella organisation for all the neurological organisations, of which there are so many. And people don't realise that osteoporosis, that being hit on the head with a golf ball, there are more people who suffer a neurological disorder than cancer and heart disease put together. God. And yet there's no funding put into it. There's no
I know,
funding. That's insane. So what you're doing is remarkable.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're at the start of a long journey with the IMRI, but I'm hoping that we'll get there. Obviously, the lockdown and coronavirus has really affected the charity, and we've had to stop the appeal and put all our efforts into looking after the frontliners. But that's changed now, and we're back onto the IMRI. So fingers crossed.
So Sarah, if you ever do another sponsored walk or run or anything like that, any physical challenge, I am there. I would love to come and join you and help you raise money.
You'll wish you never said that, because in 2022 we're doing a pig-to-pig cycle. You know the pigs?
Oh, I hate cycling. I won't cycle.
Oh, come on.
Let me think about it.
It's not
I
till
will think about it.
2022.
Are you going to do the whole thing?
No way. I thought I might do Somerset because it's flat.
No, I think you've got to do the whole thing.
700 miles?
Yeah, you do it. If you do the whole thing, I'll do the whole thing.
Okay.
And we get really fit, and maybe we could do it for sport relief or something.
Well, we'll do it. All right, let's get really fit and touch base in a year and see how we are. I bet you, after you in a year, you'll be head to toe in Lycra.
No, I won't. I won't be answering your calls. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Turn the phone off. Why did I say that? But anyway, on to clothes, my darling, because I've looked at a load of photographs of you, and what I love about the way you dress is that you're very classy in the way you dress, but it just seems, there's a lot I feel you're that kind of kind of quite neutral colours, wrapped in cashmere, soft fabrics. It's effortless.
Yes, a lot of that goes on. I'm not very good with colour. I don't look great in it, really. I'm a bit stuck in black. I still always fall back on black, and I think that's because I've got quite a big chest, and I'm quite embarrassed by it. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
True.
It's a nightmare. So everything, I'll see something on the shelf and I'll go, oh my God, that's gorgeous. I love it. And it fits perfectly. And then I'm spend an hour trying to sort of, squeeze the girls in and try and put them in some sort of, order that it might do up, and it never does up. So I've become a master with safety pins and sewing and things.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it breaks my heart, really, because however much I work out and exercise, I think because of my age, so I'm 52 as well, there's no way you can't make your chest smaller, everything.
I tried, but do you do things like, sometimes I wear 2 bras, that's one thing. So like a nicely shaped bra and then a minimizer on top. And then my shock absorber exercise bra, I wear that too. I I've just bought one in a really small cup size so that it just will totally flatten my chest and I can wear something loose.
That is so funny. That's exactly what I do. I buy a minimizer, which is about 3 sizes too small in the cup. So it squeezes them down. If you see me with my clothes off, the breast coming out here, and there's a little bit here, then there's a couple coming out down here as well. But at least from the front, it looks quite nice. And from the side, I look like one of those lovely svelte, flat-chested girls.
You can't be seen sideways, basically, which is what we all want.
Unless you're like that. Yeah. But the bane of my life, I've often thought about just whipping them off. It's the bane of my life. I hate them because it means that I've got very, very little choice in what I wear. And so I always have to go for the same thing. I kind of have to go for the same colours. It really minimises my choice of what I can wear. And it's funny. A lot of women will say, "Oh my God, I'd love to have big boobs. I've always dreamt about having big boobs." And you just think, God, if you could spend a day in my boobs, literally within 4 hours, you would want them off. They're a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Yep. I identify and empathise with you 150%. But is that why you wear hats? You're quite partial to hats, aren't you? To deflect from
make them look up. Make them look up. It's a big hat or a massive shoe. So they're either up here or they're down here, but they're not here. But then you'll still find that many men will just focus here.
Yeah. I don't really mind about that. I don't get offended by, I'm too old for that to happen now, but that never really worried me. It was more the fact that I've never been able to wear what is considered to be fashionable clothes, because if you wear something loose, you look pregnant, or you can look very matronly. So if you're wearing a skirt and a sweater, it's very matronly if you've got big boobs.
Yeah, I know. And you see those lovely girls, don't you, with the sweater tucked into the skirt, and they look fantastic.
Yeah.
And I try it, and I just look like Hattie Jakes, because it's just a mound of breast, and then this sort of little teacher skirt. It just doesn't work. It's
exactly.
And also the look of that lovely, when people just wear a suit without anything on underneath.
Yeah. I would love that. It's that whole kind of androgynous thing, isn't it? Which I would love to do.
Yeah, me too. Well, we'll just have to go and get surgery.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, let's raise loads of money, and then we'll go and do that afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Perfect. So, when you're traveling, which you must have done loads of traveling with your TV work, do you have a comfort blanket of any sort? That's something that you always take with you?
Yes, I do. It's a jacket. It's a leather jacket. I've got a black leather jacket. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I've got it here. Hang on. It's a black leather jacket that I bought. I think I bought it from All Saints in Leeds years ago. It's just a typical black leather jacket, but I don't think I could live without it. There it is.
So nice.
It's just very traditional. But it saved me on so many occasions, because it's warm enough to wear when it's cold, but you can still put it on in spring. It looks really cool. I've put it on sometimes if I've been going to something really posh with a lovely evening dress and gone, I don't know where, and I can put that on, and it just makes it look quite a cool sort of.
Yeah,
it's just great. I love it, and I just don't know what I'd do without it. And I never wanted a black leather jacket, and I never thought I was a black leather jacket kind of person. And when I bought it, I remember thinking, God, I'll probably never wear it. I'll never wear it. And I wear it constantly. I love it. I absolutely.
Your best friend.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
So we've got you've really sweetly sent a photograph of yourself with Amanda Holden.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years ago. Is that what you class as your wardrobe malfunction?
I've got a few, and that was the only one. That was the only one I had a picture of.
Okay.
That one was, we hadn't discussed what we were going to wear, and we were going to the premiere of We Will Rock You, the Queen musical in the West End. And I don't know why, I kind of thought, I'll go in I'll go in this tiny little denim skirt, a see-through white blouse with a white bra underneath with my great big boobs, and then these awful boots that I got from a shop in Hampstead. I don't know if it's still there, but it's like a designer secondhand shop in Hampstead, where you can go and you can pick up things that people have sold to the shop, and they were about 2 sizes too big for me, but I loved them. So they go right up to my thigh, and they had sort of like a crisscross there. I just thought I looked amazing. And then Amanda Holden got out of the car behind me, and she was also wearing this sort of like country and western. She had like a patchwork pair of jeans flares on, and a patchwork off the shoulder kind of denim, I don't know, top on. And we looked like a really awful amateur country and western girl band.
But you looked like you were going to kind of a Dolly Parton concert in the 80s. Apart from, I mean, what was your thinking with that?
I don't know. I think it was going through that phase. Again, it was when I hadn't quite sort of grown into the shape that I was. I didn't really know what I looked like. And it was the era of Sienna Miller. Remember Sienna used to sort of glide around Primrose Hill, didn't she? And like tiny little things, and a little boot and a little this and a little that, and look absolutely gorgeous. So I thought, well, I'll put on a little, this and a little that, and I will look equally as gorgeous. But when you're 5'8" and like built like a Amazon, just didn't quite pull it off. And then Amanda Holden, I don't know what she was thinking. She just sort of obviously found everything that looked like a patchwork quilt in her wardrobe and put it on. And together we just looked hilarious.
But I have to say, your legs look fucking amazing.
Yeah, the legs were good then. Yeah,
I mean,
they
outstanding.
Holding it together. And if only I wasn't covering them up with a thigh-length boot.
Thigh-length boot, and then I think, the white bra underneath the see-through top is a real error.
It was a massive error.
Yeah,
the whole thing was a nightmare. And then, of course, we opened up Pete the next day to find ourselves in the was it freak or chic or hot or not? I can't remember. It was one of those. Anyway, we had a thumbs down.
Oh, well done.
Down, yeah. I cut it out. I kept it.
But have you found? I mean, that's because when you mentioned just then, there's that thing of, thinking. It's that crossroads, isn't it? When you go from it's around 40, 45, where you have to reappraise who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the hardest thing about middle age is kind of wanting to cling on to the clothes you used to wear because they're part of your identity, but actually you look older when you're wearing those clothes.
Yeah.
And so it's about finding a new identity, a visual identity. Have you found that hard?
Yeah, I have, and I found it quite depressing, really, because there's a lot of things in my wardrobe that I think, God, I love that. I really, really love that dress. I've got a little sort of mini dress that it's not a sort of slutty one. It's lovely, but I know I can't wear it. I just know that I can't because I still think that I look cool in it, but really I just don't. You come to an age where you have to rethink what you can get away with and what you can't, because when you do see somebody wearing something that is just tipped over the edge, you kind of go, oh God, no, please, no.
Yeah.
Put a cardi on. Put a cardi on. I think the time came for me where I suddenly embraced navy blue. And I said, I quite like navy blue. Oh, yeah. I've come to that age. I've come to the navy blue age.
So what do you wear? So is there anything that you don't wear now? You say no. So anything like above the knee or anything with too much cleavage?
I don't wear skirts above the knee now. No. Really, I just don't. I don't. I don't think I would get away with it. I don't wear anything really tight, because I know that I've got I'm menopausal and my boobs are too big, and it just wouldn't look right. It just wouldn't look sexy. It wouldn't look slutty. It would just look wrong. So nothing really tight, nothing above the knee. I don't really wear bikinis anymore, which is a shame. But no, that's out. Things like that, really.
Yeah.
I don't really wear high heels that much anymore.
No, me neither. Never wear high heels.
Yeah.
No, unless it's a kind of, I'm always looking for platforms which I can wear onto trousers. So, which are like those kind of brick things. That you wear.
I quite like those. Yeah. I've got to have something that has got a balance on it. So nothing like that. Yeah.
No, otherwise it's very precarious. Sarah, has there ever been a time when an item of clothing has badly let you down?
Yes, there has. It was on stage as well, which is even worse. I was doing a show called Popcorn by Ben Elton, which is, very briefly, I'll describe, a show about a Hollywood director who comes back on Oscar night with some girl that he's picked up, some actress at the Oscar party, and two psychopaths from Southern America have broken into his house and sort of run amok. And towards the end of the play, the press are called and the police are there, and they let two press in, a cameraman and a sound woman, but the psychopaths say they can only come in their underwear, just because we make sure they're not wearing a wire or anything like that. So I chose the underwear that I wanted to wear for this part, and it was quite, it was a very conservative, big sports bra almost, made out of cotton, and a big pair of cotton pants. And we'd been doing the show for about a week, and then a new wardrobe person arrived, a new girl that to work in wardrobe, and she took my costume one night after the play and washed it on a boil wash and put it back in my dressing room. And I didn't ever put my costume on right until the last minute, till I was about to go on. And I got the costume about 5 minutes before I was about to go on stage, and it had shrunk. I mean, half. So the pants of like kids, the bra like the bra of a pixie, basically. And I didn't have anything else to put on, so I was like, fuck, and kind of like squeezed into these tiny pants and put this tiny little bra on. And I was the sound woman, so I had like a boom, so I sort of edged myself on stage with the boom kind of like over my boobs, and managed to get through the play, and like with everyone in the cast just in hysterics. 3 of them were supposed to have been shot, so they were dead, and you could see them like laughing on the stage. And then it got to the curtain call, and we had to sort of bow, and of course out came the boobs.
No.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. So
oh my God, that is spectacular.
A truly spectacular costume fail there. Yeah.
Well done, you. I'm so proud of you for that moment. It's amazing. So do you still have in your wardrobe something which is like your birthday suit, which is you get really excited about wearing?
Yes, I do, and I've got it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, let's see.
It's navy blue.
Oh my God.
Here it is. So I bought this a few years ago, and it's great. It's a template, and it's a trouser suit. I love trouser suits.
Ooh,
lovely.
Yes,
and it is quite low cut actually, but with enough boob tape, they look quite good.
Yeah, fabulous. So. That because that is just like, it's not too exposing. You've got the glitter. It's modern, clean, it's perfect.
It's nice, isn't it?
I like it a lot. Yeah,
thank you.
I've so enjoyed talking to you, and genuinely. And let's keep in touch about this bike ride. And good luck coming out of lockdown. And don't slag the BBC off again.
I know, God, I've got to. I know, I've got to pay the rent.
We love them. Yeah,
we love them. They're amazing.
They're amazing. All right, sweetheart, you take care, and I send you a big fat kiss.
Bye, darling.